yo, what up, though?
Welcome.
We are back. Blazing Soul Podcast every Wednesday.
Same time, same place.
Same bad channel. We are here to talk about current events, show some love out there to not only the Black and Asian community, but minority communities as a whole, to kind of change the narrative that has been out there concerning Asian and the Black community, and to have a little fun.
Yes.
We have a special guest today. This is a episode of celebration.
Yes.
But before I get into that, I would like to send my thoughts and prayers to those that lost their lives in the mass shooting that happened a few days ago. Horrible thing to go into a grocery store and just start openly shooting. It's deplorable in nature. I believe our last episode, we were talking about mental health and how people can get help and signs to look for. And a few days later, chaos ensued. So, number one, keep all of your loved ones close. Watch out, watch your six at all times. But also, if you are feeling depressed, if you feel that you need help, if things are just overwhelming, seek that help. It's not about money when it comes to help like that, because we know many mental health professionals that will help you absolutely free, because at the end of the day, it's more about helping and saving lives as opposed to a business per se. So if you need help, reach out to us. Say, hey, I need some help. Can you guys recommend someone for me to speak to? And we will go into, full help mode to get you the help that you need. And we as well will reach and extend a hand out to try to help you in any way possible.
Yep, and you're not alone.
Not at all. These are still, just because, the vaccine is out there and things are looking up to a certain extent, it's not over. So everyone has to be aware of that, keep that in mind, and at the same time, help your fellow man, no matter minority or otherwise. We're all human beings, so extend a helping hand.
Definitely.
Now, for this episode, like I said, this is an episode of celebration. We have a young prince that is doing his thing. Very smart individual that I met when I was giving I don't know if you call it a lecture or seminar, but the guy really impressed me, and wanted to bring him on and kind of give him his flowers right now in front of everybody.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
Let's bring on Derel.
And here we are.
Derel, what's happening?
Hello. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Just want to give a little background as far as I know, but I had a group of students from a college prep school. I don't know whether or not I should say the name or anything like that, because I don't want to misrepresent anyone. But you came to my job, and I was to give a seminar on engineering and what we do and how it affects everyone, and what it entails within our industry. And while I was giving the seminar to this group of students who are, a cut above the rest, it's not just a regular class, but these guys are really on top of their game. We are a Japanese-based company where I'm a marketing manager, and they were to go to Japan as kind of an impromptu internship. So that's something that my company endorsed and tried to assist with. While I was giving my presentation and seminar, this young man in front of us, I usually, when I give a seminar, give quizzes at the end or ask questions to see whether or not people were paying attention, to get that interaction flowing between me and my audience. And every question was answered by this gentleman in front of us. Now, I give an hour-long presentation that talks about engineering and various scientific formulas and, how our machines work and operate. And afterwards, he knew every answer to the questions, which impressed me to no end. He received gifts for that during that time, because, like I said, he just hit every note as far as the questions were concerned. So that showed me, young man, that you are a very intelligent person, first and foremost, that you are attentive. It's always a little hard when you're in a classroom setting to listen because you have distractions and things of that nature, but you are on point. So I want to give you your props, first of all, for that. It was impressive that you knew after only an hour conversation a lot of the aspects of what I was going into. So thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. And thank you for being attentive when I gave my presentation.
You're welcome.
Along those lines, like I said, he was scheduled to go to Japan, but the pandemic hit. Actually, the pandemic hit right after you guys came for the presentation.
Oh,
I mean, it was amazing how the timeline that took. But because of the pandemic, the trip had to be canceled for obvious reasons. We were also doing a few major trade shows that year that you guys were invited to come and check out and kind of see how that works. I mean, we spent $1 million or so on trade shows. So, that was going to be a big emphasis or part of this as well that you guys didn't get to do. And to be quite honest, man, during this time, it's hard. I mean, I'm a grown man, to work every day, have a family, but it's hard for me, just with the situation that's going on. So we know it has to be hard for you guys because you guys are young, in the prime of your lives. You want to get out and do stuff, and you just kind of can't right now because of everything that's going on. So because of that, we wanted to come on and kind of show our appreciation to the younger generation, especially someone that we have seen to have more than the average. The intellect that you showed, what you're trying to do as far as go to Japan and extend your knowledge at such an early stage is amazing to me. So talk to your teacher to see what I can do to, I guess, motivate you to continue down that path, because that path, when you get to my age, when I was your age, I was running around doing stupid stuff, not really.
We all were.
Right, not really, keeping a focus of what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And when you do that at an early age, it makes your climb to success that much harder. Yeah. So to see that you are kind of focused on that thought process early, we have to encourage them. So I don't want to talk continuously. So why don't you tell everybody your name, who you are, and what do you want to do when you grow up, or do you know what you want to do when you grow up?
My name is Derel. I'm 17. I'm a senior. And at this moment in time right now, I don't know what I want to do anymore.
Okay. How did you feel when the Japan trip got canceled? Because that was huge. That's I've never been to Japan, and I work for a Japanese company, so that should tell you something right there. How did you feel when they had to cancel that because of the pandemic?
It was real sad. And before the pandemic even really took off, we had a paper that we had to sign that was saying we were willing to go over there knowing that something was going on, but then it hit us even harder and everything shut down. And that would have been a really big experience for me because I've never been out of the state.
Wow. Yeah, that's very disappointing. And that's why I spoke with your teacher as far as doing something a little bit more, because, man, that would be disappointing for me if I was going out of the country and I had planned this and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I can't go for whatever reason it may be. And for such a disheartening reason as the pandemic, that had to be hard for you guys. How did your other classmates take it?
I don't even really know, because I was the only junior at the time.
Okay.
And everyone else were sophomores, so I didn't really know. I didn't really know them.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you always have to look at the younger generation and help, because that's who's we're going to pass that torch to, and you guys are going to take our community, our lives to a different level. So our thought process was for you to come on, let people know who you are, kind of tell your background story. It did my heart good. I mean, I work every day. I'm dealing with numbers and machine parts and microns and things of that nature. But when I spoke with your teacher, she said one of the things is that you remembered the seminar that you came to at my job, that you remembered me, that you had a good time, and even a year later you had remembered me. It did my heart good. So even though we're here to bestow, kind of goodwill to you, without you knowing, you bestow goodwill to me, because for somebody to listen to one of my speeches, seminars, whatever you want to call it, but remember that a year later, at such a young age, man, that did my heart good. So I would like to say thank you.
Yep.
Without further ado, I think my wife has some surprises for you. So I'm going to let her go ahead and do her thing, and kind of give you your flowers while we're here on live, the live internet right now.
Yes. So I have a quick video for you. Just a little word of encouragement from some of people that want to pour into your life. So I will play that for you right now.
Hi family, it's your boy Royal Tannis here, aka Relentless Royal, and I'm here at my favorite park in the entire universe, Century Park. So I just want to share this with a few people. As I was looking at the chain on my bike, I was reminded how significant every link to the chain is. So if one link is missing, then a bike cannot operate or ride how it was designed to. And just like the link to a chain, your life means that much, to the point of something not being able to operate if you're not present or existent. Just be encouraged to know that your life matters. Your life is significant. You play a key role to God's big plan. God needs you. God loves you. Someone is waiting for you. And that's all. I would like to stay in chat, but I gotta go. I love y'all. Look, y'all, no hands. Hey.
Hi, Derel. My name is Mrs. Lonesome Cum. I am a social studies teacher at Jola Central High School. Although we've never met, I've heard some things about you, and I want to say congratulations to all of your accomplishments and your achievements. And I just want to also send you some words of encouragement. I know this year has been really rough, but hang in there. I know you'll do great things, because I've heard nothing but great things about you. Love the fact that you want to go to Japan, you want to support your family, your community. So with that mindset already, I know you're going to do great things, and keep dreaming like that. Dream big. Definitely advocate for yourself. Oftentimes we don't know, what help you need as, educators or resource people unless you speak up. So continue to connect with people, network with people, and you will learn so much and also do great things. So keep up the great work, do you, and I want to wish you the best of luck in everything that you do. Bye.
Derel, how are you? I'm Steven Jackson. I heard nothing but good things about you. I appreciate your willingness to continue to be in the fight. So I wanted to share some things that I want to do specifically for you. So I am an intern at a counseling organization called Stonecatchers Counseling. We are willing at Stonecatchers to offer you pro bono counseling services. You can share with anyone that you want that we are doing this for people who are in need, who may need someone to talk to. But I'm offering specifically for you that I will give you free counseling services up until June of 2021. Also, I spoke with my wife, and we want to contribute $250 to you. So if you could share your information with Laura so that we can get that money to you. That is what we want to do. So just share your information with Laura so you can get whatever you need, your information to her, so you can take advantage of these counseling services. Is that something that you want to do as well? Share your information where we can send the cash to. So I look forward to meeting you one day. Have a wonderful day.
And this is just if you want it. It's always good to talk to somebody. You can talk to me by far, but if you wanted to talk to someone else or talk to someone who is more knowledgeable than I, you always have that in your back pocket that you can speak to somebody about any problems, troubles you might have. On top of that, we did speak briefly about some of the things that would help you in your educational career, and that 250, which was a marvelous gift for them to provide, but that gives you money to buy certain things that you might need to get through this pandemic. Lord knows that I've bought things that I've needed for the pandemic or just get me through, whether it's a movie, whether it's equipment for my computer, whatever the case may be. On top of that, we are donating a brand new computer to you. When we go offline, you just give me what your address is and we will ship it through Amazon. But I know you had some difficulties with the computer that was provided graciously by your school. But we figure if we get you one of your own, that multitasking won't be a problem if you got two computers sitting in front of you.
Yes.
On top of that, we also are going to send some items to help you. You did let me know that you wanted to start podcasting, which, hey, we love. You see what we're doing here. You and your friends gaming, doing stuff that you guys like. So we're going to send you some items that will allow you to do that much easier. And like I said, with no further ado, we have one more person that just wants to send shouts of encouragement to you, and then we'll continue on.
And then the video, which technical difficulties, it cut off, but Karate Studio Academy is also donating some courses for you that's going to help with, was it leadership, confidence,
things that, dude, I want these classes, okay? This is a premier karate school that's very close to your school that you go to. So right around the corner.
Right around the corner from you.
Yeah. But yeah, man, you're going to take some weeks of courses if you would like, and if you have the time, or to teach you karate, self-discipline, confidence. The gentleman, Brian, who owns the dojo, he has a wealth of knowledge and information. 90% of his time, he's working with children all day, every day.
And the other thing is, too, it'll help you get involved with the students and kids your age around that community, around that area. So you'll have some networking and some friends, from the karate studio as well.
So you'll be the karate kid.
In America until you can get to Japan. And I have one more message from one more person. So that didn't play. So I'm going to play that now.
Hi, Derel. My name is Sabrina. I'm the owner and clinical director at Stonecatchers Counseling. We heard that you were having a rough time, so I just wanted to pop in and say you're doing great. You do the best you can with what you have, with the level of awareness that you're at, and that's all you can do. And whenever you decide to come out here, I'm going to take you for a ride in my new slingshot, and we are going to ride around town, and we are just going to be totally free. Take care of yourself.
That's a nice car. I
Yes.
ain't gonna hold you up. That's a nice car.
So
I
she
like
will
it.
either pick you up or take, so whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So like I said, these aren't. This isn't a pity party or anything like that. Everyone sees when I talk about you, when I talk about the experience I had with you, when I talk to your teacher, there is nothing but praise.
Yes.
There is nothing but goodwill that is associated with your name. So in
Yes.
keeping with that fact, when we see a bright star or a bright light,
You want to highlight.
yeah, we want to make that light go brighter.
Yes.
And some of these things that we put together for you, hopefully will, make your light shine even brighter. Like I said, this is a difficult time for everyone. Without a doubt. My kids go through stuff because of the pandemic. I'm going through stuff at work. My wife is at her work. So we understand the difficulties that happen because this is something that came totally out of the blue. On top of that, if we're dealing with it and it's hard for us, we think that it has to be infinitely harder for a young man of your age. So this is our way of saying, keep going. Don't
Keep
let
pushing.
nothing stop you.
Definitely.
And any help you need, as you can see, that help is there for you, bro. Whether it is financial in the ways that we've just said, or whether it's just someone to talk to. Everyone is there backing you up.
And we just want to say we are proud of you and keep pushing. You got this. You are our future leader, and you'll make it happen.
And you will get to that Japan.
Yes. Things will open back up.
Yeah, but whether it's now, whether it's later in life, when I was 18, one thing that was on my bucket list is that I wanted to go to Egypt. I wanted to see the pyramids, the Sphinx. I wanted to see, Africa as a whole. And I didn't do it at 18, but I'm 47 now. And
47.
I'm 47. I'm an old man. But roughly about 3 weeks ago, me and my wife went to Egypt. So, your dreams, there's never a time limit on your dreams. Okay. So whether it's now, whether it's in the future, when you start making that big money, like I know you will, you'll be able to take trips where you want, when you want. And I'm confident that will happen.
And I'm just curious, is Mom there?
Yes.
Is she available to come and say hi or come on the live with us?
Well, she actually just called me.
Oh, she did. Okay.
But so I don't wait. She might be home.
If she's available, I would love to present her, to say hi and give her a little something.
And if not, I don't want to put her on the spot, so that's okay if she's not available.
Definitely.
But we wanted to give her praise too, because she is the person that raised such an outstanding individual. So believe us, as parents, we know that is a task to be that role model and that parent to get our kids to where we know they can be. Exactly. So without a doubt, that's a feather in her cap that we'd like to give her praise for as well.
Yes.
But like I said, if not, I'm sure I will talk to her when I'm getting your information to get those gifts to you. Once again, man, thank you very much. We truly appreciate you coming on, first of all. I know it's difficult to come in front of everybody, but like I said, this is a episode of celebration because, it's one thing for someone, an adult, to achieve success and show a drive because we're adults now. It's time for that to happen. It's a far other thing if you're still technically a minor or technically a kid and you're showing that drive and that will to succeed. So that's what we wanted to highlight. Before we let you go, young man, is there anything that you would like to say?
I want to say thank you for having me today, and thank you for reaching out to the people that you reached out to, and to the people that you did reach out to. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to send me messages.
Did I tell you the man was smart or not? gave praise back. Very intellectual, very intelligent and polite. Thank you very much, sir. I will shoot you an email so we can get the information and get you all of the gifts that you not need, but you deserve.
Yes.
Sound good?
Yes.
All right, man.
Awesome.
Talk
Thank
to you
you,
later, big dog.
Derel.
See you.
We'll talk to you later.
See you.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I mean, we have on our program business professionals, health professionals, people of all walks of life that have achieved success, that are community leaders, that are role models. But at the same time, we have to give praise to the younger generation who seems like they're following down that same path of greatness. When you see a child trying and putting forth effort, you have to cultivate that, because it's quite easily for their thought process to fall by the wayside or get caught up in extracurricular stuff. There's pitfalls out there, not only pitfalls for adults, but most definitely pitfalls for kids. So to find a young man who, like I said, touched me, when I spoke to his teacher and she said, definitely reach out to Derel. He remembers you. He talks about you. He still has your gifts that you provided for him for winning the contest. That did a lot for me. So many times in our business professional lives, especially with what I do with marketing, it's mathematics. It's, I work for a industrial company, so it's mathematics and it's talking about facts and figures and things of that nature. But to get a human element to what I do makes all the world of difference for me. So, which is why I wanted to kind of give him his flowers right now when they're due. It is, it's something that I hope everyone takes and runs with it. So if we celebrated a young man who we felt was doing what he's supposed to do, believe me, there is a young man, woman, young lady around you in your area, in your life, that should get this same congratulations to. So take it upon yourself. If it's nothing but sitting down and saying, hey, man, I see how you move and I see what you're doing and I like it. I'm appreciative of what you're doing. It goes a long way as far as a child is concerned. Other than that, I don't want to rain on the parade, but I think we should kind of talk about the incident that happened. So while we're giving praise for a young male distributing, the utmost in what a human should be, now we turn to the opposite side of the scale, and we have a person, I won't call him a man, a person who felt that it was the right thing to do to target innocent people for no other reason as of right now that we know that he was hurting, so he went out to hurt other people. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say that everyone knows deep down that that is the wrong choice. No matter what you believe in, whether it's God, Allah, the Creator, whatever you believe in, there's never a time when the situation dictates you hurting innocent individuals. And it's been happening quite frequently to the point that, I think we should say something. Last week it was the spas. This week it's the grocery store. We are all Americans. And though we have our differences, our trials and tribulations, don't hurt your own, and as humans, we're all connected in some way. So don't hurt your own. It's not, that's not how you go about solving issues and problems. There are organizations, there are hotlines, there are a ton of different ways that you can seek help if your mindset gets to the point where you feel like hurting someone else. It's not a good decision. It's probably the worst decision you can make, hurting someone else or hurting yourself. So please, get the help that you need if you need the help, whether that is a friend. Everybody has somebody that they confide in, childhood friends, your best friend, whoever the case may be. If you don't have that person, as I said before, there are organizations, there are people out there who want to help. That's what some people, that's what they were put on this planet to do, is to help their fellow man. So please get out there, get the help you need. And as I said before, if you don't have anybody to reach out to the Blazing Soul podcast. It will be totally anonymous, and we will do everything in our power to help you out. You have anything,
no, it's just been a crazy last couple of weeks with all these incidents. And, I just want to say that if you guys are feeling overwhelmed by the latest news, just, find ways to do self-care and take care of yourself. Some of the ideas, some of the things, you take a walk, you could, take a break from social media. I know sometimes I have to unplug because I can go on and on for hours on social media. And then after getting off, it makes me feel so yucky. So it's just a bad feeling. So sometimes you just have to get up, shake it off, and think about all of the positive things that are happening in the world. And, in spite of all of this ugliness, there are still beautiful people out there. It's still really amazing to see, everyone coming together, all of our allies, with the Asian hate, Stop Asian Hate allies that are, fighting for us. And it's just really disheartening to see all of the things unfold. There's almost 3,000 or 4,000 incidents that are reported, because Asian people don't like to report things. So that's probably not the real number. There's almost 4,000 cases over this last year, or 150% spike. And it's so hard for me to watch our elders. And every time I watch those videos, I get super emotional, because what it makes me think of are my aunts, my uncles, and people that are getting hurt and dying for no apparent reason but hate. So we want to shower the world with love and kindness, because that's the only thing that's going to erase the hate.
Yeah, it was very encouraging. Now, the premise behind why we had to come together is depressing. When the Black Lives Matter movement, not particularly the organization, but I'm talking about the movement itself, happened, and we had our Asian community backing us, and our Latino community backing us, and people overseas in Germany and everywhere were reaching out to say this is wrong, and we show solidarity in supporting you guys. That was big. And in the same instance, when the Asian hate started to rear its ugly head, how people are stepping up in the Black community and other communities around the world that's saying, hey,
this is enough.
Yeah,
enough is
right.
enough.
This isn't right. That, to me, like I said, even though it's under depressing circumstances, it shows me that there's hope.
Yeah.
There's hope because, I'm a Black man that has an Asian wife, that has my daughters are half Black, half Asian. My sons are half Black, half Asian.
So we getting hit from both sides, which is the purpose of the podcast.
Which is why we started this podcast.
Because of all this craziness going on, we have the blunt of it, him being Black and I'm being Lao, Asian. And so we just felt like we needed to come together and start this podcast and just showcase and highlight the good things that are happening in our communities, so we could highlight the beautiful people in our communities and change the narrative that's out there that, puts us down, the China virus or the Kung Fu virus, or, talking about the negative views on Black people and the Black community. And we just want to change the narrative and put a positive spin, a positive light on our community. So we truly appreciate our sponsors and everybody who has been with us from day one. We have, how many months is this? We started last September, I think. So we haven't, it hasn't been a year, but it's just really great to see us all come together. We want this show to keep showcasing that in our community. And racism has not, so Asian hate has not just started within this last year. It was just provoked because of the coronavirus. It just made it easy for the racist people to come out of their shell, right? It's always been around. But us, all the Asians, we're taught to not cause conflict, to not be the loudest people in the room, to not address our issues. And that's how we grew up. That's how we were taught. But, you know, you've got the Asian kids that grew up in America. And so we adapted to the American ways and to voice our opinion, to seek out help, to, you know, cause a disruption and to voice our opinion, you know. And so now here we are, our younger generation we're sticking up for our older generation. I mean, now, so the kids, so I used to be bullied all the time through elementary school. So in my mind, I'm like, those kids just basically grew up and now they're adults. And it just continues on and on until we come together. And I love to see all the beautiful different ethnicities. There's over 50 countries in Asia. I don't know if you guys know this. China being the biggest in Asia. So anytime something happens about Asians or China, they put us all in a category, but there's 50 different countries in Asia. But we're all in this together, and it's so beautiful to see, you know, Chinese and Japanese and, you know, Lao and Thai, like Cambodians and everybody, all the Asians kind of rallying together. Whereas before, I think we were kind of on our own little island. And so I love seeing that. And I love seeing that support that we're coming together to help combat this racism that is so deep rooted in our society.
And if you guys just listen to what she said just now, you can see the mirrors of the Black community and the Asian community. One thing she said was there's over 50 different countries that make up the Asian community. That mirrors Africa, where people say where Africa is not a country, Africa is a continent. There's a multitude of different countries within Africa, the same as she just said with the Asian community. Another thing that she said that rung true with me is that this is not something new. This has been going on for a long time. It's just been highlighted now. Some people aren't working. Some people are working from home, so they have more time. So you're not as many things is taking up your time. So you're able to take a step back and say, wait a minute, that's wrong, no matter who it's about. In that same vein, the Black community, and I had this conversation with someone at work when they say, well, why do you think all of this stuff that's happening to Black people are happening right now? Now, the previous presidential administration, I believe, had some say or some, fault in how that narrative played out. But we have been saying police brutality to a certain extent. We have been saying racism towards Black people for as long as I can remember. And if you don't believe me, listen to the music of our culture, because that's one way through slavery and growing up, we were able to tell our tales. So you can listen for anything from blues to R&B to rap, and someone is telling that tale of police brutality or being shot quicker than another ethnicity, or just the struggle that the Black person goes through in the United States. So once again, that mirrors that dialogue that she was just telling you about.
And one of the things that some people that I think it's just pure ignorance, because the racism didn't stop when I was in elementary school. It continued in the corporate world. And so I share all that in my book. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I'm publishing a book in a couple months, $40 and a Dream, about my refugee story. It's going to talk about, me growing up in America as a refugee child, and also share the racism that I have experienced along the way. And so it's $40 and a Dream, breaking through the bamboo ceiling. So It's going to talk about the racism in corporate. It's going to talk about everything that I've experienced as a refugee minority in America. So this thing has not, gone away. I wish it would, and it's sad to see my father calling me. He's scared to come out the house. He's a social person. And for him to not come out the house and calling me to make sure that I'm okay, like I used to get called every day when Corona first started, and he's just worried about me. The only incident that I did have was being in Walgreens in a line. I had my mask on. I was 6 feet away. This man had a stick in his hand, and even though I was 6 feet away, he looked around. He shooed me like I was a dog, and he just like shooed me away, like, get back further. I'm like, dude, seriously. And then I got away, and I should have said something, but I'm like, okay, I'll be the bigger person. The next person come up, standing right where I was. He didn't say nothing to them. And of course, they weren't Asian, so he let them, stand by him. But it's just those things where, I didn't come out the house much, so I didn't experience a lot of what other people have shared. But it's just stupid. Bottom line is just stupid.
Yeah. And to briefly touch her point, I'm glad I was not there during that event. I mean, not to say I'm a hard cat or anything of that nature, but that's my wife. So I'm glad I wasn't there for that event. But not to get off the subject, yeah, man. And, I have differences with people, and we talk and have debates and stuff like that. But I don't wish harm on anyone.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Whether it's Trump, whether it is the people who stormed the Capitol. I don't wish death and despair on anyone. At the same time, I don't want anybody to feel racial tension or be taken advantage of because of whatever your beliefs are. Yeah. So while I wish no harm to anyone, at the same time, I'm going to champion causes that I feel are relevant to making us greater as a whole. So, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of, your upbringing, deep down inside, you know that harming other people is not the right thing to do. Everybody knows that. That's deep within your soul, that you know that you're not supposed to harm anybody. So you guys should take that to heart, that, we're all trying to make a better life for us and our family. Yep. And we're all trying to live, on the same
and one thing that I do want to share, which I don't believe a lot of people who are just pure ignorant, like I said, I don't think a lot of people know about the Southeast Asian experience. So a lot of us Southeast Asian, like Lao people, like myself, we came and we struggled just like everyone else. And when we came here, we didn't have anything. Like my family came here with just $40 and a dream, you guys. I was born homeless in the refugee camp. We came here to America, and a lot of stories. Just stop and speak to. If you see an Asian person, just ask them their story. There's a lot of similarities with our stories. A lot of us was forced out of our country. So to be told, go back to your country. Many of us have never even stepped foot in our country. And many of us came so young, like myself. I don't even know how I would survive back in our country. I honor and respect my country tremendously. However, just understand that we came, we struggled, and we lived in the projects. We lived in the hood. We lived with roaches. We lived, we had to struggle to survive as well. And I've been told one time by someone that some people are just ignorant. They think they know what they don't know. And so, I was told, oh, you've never been poor. They have this because Crazy Rich Asian movie, right? So we need more movies to represent us, first of all, in our story and our experience. So they see only the sexist, the spa girls. You see Asian as a sex representative, which is why that led to the shooting. But we need more representation of our story and our journey. We actually, I actually had one person say, oh, you don't know what poor is. You were raised with a silver spoon. Or I've had comments like, oh gosh, what would they say, babe?
not to
that I'm white, that I don't see you guys as a minority. That's yes.
Not to take away from her story, but the thing she just said, I was about to say to my black sisters and brothers out there, does that sound familiar? Because that everything she just said sounded familiar.
What?
You know what I'm saying? As far as how you grew up, struggling.
Yes, that was us. Food stamps, public aid,
and not only that,
didn't have Christmas.
All of us didn't grow up. I grew up poor, but everybody didn't grow up poor. But even beyond that, to be looked at in a certain way because of how you look, rings true to me in every instance. I've been in corporate America for 15, 20 years, and I can see the change or the shift in personality at times when they see me. There's a funny story, not to get off track, we got to get out of here, but I worked as a sales account associate as well as marketing coordinator for a top 50 company. And when I spoke to the client on the phone, I was coming out to not only finish their sales order, but take some photos so I can do some marketing for them and things of that nature. And on the phone, when they heard my name, Marcelo,
you thought you were Italian.
It was, hey, come down whenever.
This Italian guy.
You know, no problem. When I walked in the door, the lady said, "May I help you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here to see such and such." And she said, "Your name?" And I said, "Marcelo Robertson," with the company I was with. And she kind of gave a look, but she didn't say anything. She got on the comm, told him to come up. He came up with, "Hey, Marcelo," and then he seen me. Okay, I immediately felt a difference in our conversation after that. And the short and sweet of that is that, well, I really don't have time right now, even though we had a scheduled meeting at that time. Some things have came up, you know, give me a call next week and we can sit down and do some stuff. I never heard from that client.
It's crazy, isn't it? So, it is crazy. I have a similar story. So before I used to put Nippapon on my resume and I didn't get any calls. So I'm like, let me put it to Laura Robertson. Maybe I'll get some more calls. Like, let's try this out. So I had some interviews and I had one in particular. It was actually a referral to a college here in Illinois. I was living in Michigan at that time. And even though it was a referral, I had a phone interview. It was at 5 p.m. It was after I got off my other job. I had a 5:30 p.m. interview with two ladies on the phone, and they absolutely loved me. And you guys see, I don't really have an accent for being a refugee foreigner. I don't really have an accent. And so it was amazing. Oh, we love your experience. We love everything you do. You'll be a perfect fit for this position. It was a director of admissions position for a college, right? Because that's one of my backgrounds. And so they're like, we're going to have HR call you tomorrow, first thing in the morning. So that way they can schedule an in-person interview. And then I'm like, okay, great. You know, you say, you know, awesome. Okay, great. I'm looking forward to it. Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, now you guys know LinkedIn, you could see who looks at your profile, right? So all of a sudden I'm like, oh, the lady I just interviewed with, how did she find me? I just saw that she looked at my profile. Before I even woke up to get my email, there was already a sent email from them. I'm like, oh, HR is calling me. They're going to schedule my interview. You guys, I opened this thing and my heart just, phew, I knew right away. She's seen that I was Asian at LinkedIn, and there was one of those default letters. Hey, we're thank you for your time. However, we found a different candidate that fits better. Yesterday, you guys were all gung-ho and, oh, we love you. Before the day even started the next morning, all of a sudden, you looked at my LinkedIn profile, saw that I was Asian, and like, thanks, but no thanks. We found someone else. You know, that's just insane, you guys.
Yeah, so we see that there is room for growth for everyone. I'm not perfect. I find myself at times getting in arguments on social media because I'm in marketing. You know, for various reasons, I'm on social media constantly, and I've seen myself get into arguments with people, and I've come to realize that
it's not worth it, guys.
Not only is it not worth it, but because I feel I'm educated enough to get my point across,
Yeah.
that should be a moment of teaching as opposed to a moment of conflict. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some idiots out there, and sometimes you just have to shrug your shoulders and keep it moving. But
Definitely.
think about that, is that, you know what I'm saying? I don't look at it as, white people doesn't like black people or minorities. There are
a lot of them do, and a lot of them stand, behind us.
I think it's
just the few bad apples, like everything
more
else.
Financial. It's more the haves and have-nots. The haves want us to be divided. We want white people, black people, Latino people to be divided because even though we call them minorities and majorities, the minorities are the majorities on this earth. So if I have everything, and I know if you all get together, that'll take away from what I have, then I have to do everything in my power to keep a balance, a status quo, so to speak. So I'm going to put out, because I own the media, because I own social media outlets and papers and TV stations, I can drive that narrative. And if you see something enough, you start to adopt some of those policies. It's the old saying, if you tell one person in a room a story and then tell each person to go and tell that story, by the time you get to the end, totally different story. So if you can twist and show that different narrative consistently, then it pits people against each other. Poor people shouldn't be pitted against poor people. We both ain't got nothing. If we get together,
we'll be so powerful, and that's what they don't want.
So
those racist people.
So I don't want anyone to think that our podcast is out to down Caucasian people.
No, we have family that are Caucasian.
No doubt. It's about upliftment of what we feel is a underappreciated part of the community, which is Asian and Black. So it's not that at all. It is that I want to champion things that I see out there that people aren't quick to, I guess, champion on their own. Everybody, one thing I was talking about LeBron James at work, because we're always talking sports with the fellas and whatnot. And one guy was like, man, I think it's right. I think he should just shut up and play basketball. And my thought process behind that is why? If you're telling me what your opinions are at work, somebody stick a camera or a microphone in front of his face, why would he not shout out the injustices that he sees? The man is untouchable as far as his personal life. With the same woman through high school sweethearts, never been in any type of problem. There's never been a scandal about the man. Same thing with Obama. Whether or not you believe me, Obama was not a president that was above reproach, because he did some things that I didn't agree with at all. But to have such disdain for him,
we're all humans. We're gonna make mistakes and no agree to disagree.
You have to take a step back and say, why? What is the real reason why I don't like this person? And I think that's one of the biggest things that I don't think we do, is because when I grew up, there was 3 or 4 channels, and they went off at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it wasn't a constant bombardment of 24-hour news outlets and 24-hour TV and things of that nature. So there was more time for introspection. And that is one of the biggest things that I think people need to do, is that if I feel I don't like someone, or I feel I am really passionate about any situation, the first thing you need to do is take a step back and say, why don't I like this person? Why don't I like this situation? What are my true feelings about it, and why do I feel like that? Because before you can convince anybody of anything, you have to know in your heart that it's right. You have to convince yourself before you convince someone else. So not to get preachy on here, everybody. Like I said, this episode was a cause of celebration. Got a young man there that like I said, I expect big things out of this young man. This is not the only time he's going to hear from me. Believe me, I'm going to shoot him emails and texts, throughout the year, make sure everything is good. If he wants to talk to me, by all means,
and we do want to address some of the comments. And Miriam, thank you once again. Miriam, shout out to her. She's in Egypt, and she is a active participant, and it's your birthday. We need your address, girl. Give us your mailing address. We send you something.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday in Egypt, Miriam. May, as always, thank you for your support. Is it Miley? Miley. Okay. Yeah, so definitely Miley. We got you, girl.
And know, guys, that we are doing this. You know, we don't get paid for this, even though I'm trying to find a way to monetize this.
But we want to help you.
Right.
We want to help you guys. If you have a podcast show idea, get with us. I even have classes on my website that's really cheap to help you learn how to start your own podcast. Seriously.
Yeah.
Get with me. I'm a business coach. I can get you set up.
Yeah, we're doing a network. So that will be coming as well. But like I said, as of right now, we do this. We take the time out. We spend the money for this equipment and stuff like this because we feel that this narrative needs to be heard.
It's definitely needed.
And, you know, maybe not live always because everybody has things that they have to do.
A lot of people catch our replays, though. We've had a ton of downloads since we've started.
3 grand,
and
episodes.
We were on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on everything. Pandora. I mean, YouTube. YouTube, we don't get too much because we don't really promote it too much. But a lot of the people that our followers, they listen to it when they have time on the audio. So a lot of them download our podcasts. So if you guys have any show ideas, if you want to be on our show, definitely reach out because we are looking for representation in the Asian and Black communities so we can let our voices be heard.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm at work in front of a computer all day unless I'm running around taking pictures or video or something. But I sit up and I look at podcasts while I'm at work. Joe Budden podcast is one that I try to catch every time a new episode comes out, and it's not, it's just something that is thought provoking. Another person's views, another person's opinions, whether they talking about hip hop and we talking about somebody in our community. It's creative content. Creative content is always king right now. So support us. Like I said, we get a couple of thousand people to watch it. On most of our podcasts, like I said, whether it's live or whether they're catching the replays of it, well, come out and support us. If nothing, think that these two are giving their opinion, giving some information out. We've given out counseling, free counseling. We bestowed the
violence.
So
we give out gifts from our own pockets.
We do it all to help our community, our role models. So in keeping with that, if nothing else, I'm gonna watch it because these cats are coming out their own pocket to make a difference. And if I can help just by simply watching for an hour, why wouldn't I do that? But other than that, let us get out of here. Thank you very much for spending time with us. We'd also like to thank Derel for coming on.
Definitely.
Big ups to the young king. And we will see you guys next week.
All right. Be safe out there, everyone.
Watch your 6. Deuces.